This program is supported by ACT Foundation.
Chomara Space, the name itself,
Yeah.
it has its own journey, has its own story.
Okay.
So when I started Chomara Space, that was many years ago. I'm talking 2021, 2022. Okay. It was originally a blog.
Okay.
And the idea of it was that it's everything that concerns me, everything that I am genuinely passionate about.
Okay.
So think of business, think of young people doing amazing things in their industry.
Okay.
That's where you would find me, and this kind of stories that you find me telling.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when we started Chomara Space, we were covering stories of young people like myself.
Okay.
I started writing at a very young age.
Okay.
Not even writing, just started doing business, started being curious about a lot of things at a very young age. So I used to write these blogs and people were like, oh my goodness, I wrote so beautifully. And mind you, these blogs were getting to over 17 continents.
Interesting.
Yeah. And recently, and again, because you can see that it's a journey of my becoming, it's everything I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So from writing, it grew into something more than writing.
Okay.
And it was based off of my personal experience, which has a whole lot to do with the workspace, the workforce, culture.
Okay.
I was always getting...
What about training, academic
I'm
education?
getting to that, actually.
Because I've got, when you said the process of becoming, it's a journey like you mentioned, and most times it's a combination of a lot of different elements, our lived experiences, of course, our passions, and our education. Education then can also be formal and informal. So there's a whole lot of element to that. So I just wanted to open it up.
Yes, I like how you mentioned experiences and education, formal and informal, and a lot of emphasis on informal because there's a lot to learn at every point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I started becoming and I started getting more interested about the workforce.
Okay.
Now, I'm Gen Z. I'm Gen Z. And because of this, there's already a misconception about how we work. And it's not just a misconception. It's actually backed with, other people's experiences with working with us. We're difficult to work with. We're interesting to work with.
Maybe not misconception, though. Maybe a disruption of the current system of work.
Yes.
Because it's more like, there are two sides to it. There is the side of the style of working.
Yeah.
There is a side of the outcome that I generate in terms of either productivity. Is your style of working, bringing, better productivity to workspace or not? I was having a chat with somebody yesterday who's like HR director of a company, and she was talking about a particular Gen Z employee. And so this person is a tech person, and he was talking about he doesn't want to work from the office. He wants to work from home. And this person asked him, why do you want to work from home? And the claim was that it will be more productive. But the person kept on pressing to say, okay, it's beyond just being productive. Tell me, why do you really want to work from home? Then he decided to say the truth. Guess what? He said he's Gen Z and he needs more money. They need to be able to keep multiple jobs. So he wants to work from home, not necessarily for the benefit of the company, but for himself, so that he can keep multiple jobs. And instead of dedicating 6 hours for the entire day to one company, he will probably spend 3 hours on one and 3 hours on the other. But because he's working remotely, nobody will know. Again, so it's not so much, and forgive me for taking that out of your mouth, from what I've seen, is the style of work that the Gen Z want to adopt. And that might require that we change everything. We change the structure of remuneration, which is, maybe based on the number of hours you work, maybe to be changed to task completed or output generated. And with that, your remuneration will not be necessarily based on the number of hours you work per day, because that's the current structure. And that's why, a Gen Z person wants to work remotely, not because they will be more productive, it's because they have multiple jobs.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, but from what I've seen, different experiences of even people around me and personally also, that's mostly the case.
Okay.
They're keeping multiple jobs. And it comes to a point now that you can't really tell them not to keep multiple jobs. But how do we redesign the current, employee remuneration in such a way that it will capture the reality of the kind of system of work that the Gen Z want?
Okay. I mean, that's a very interesting trail of thoughts. And I'll just put this to you. CA Space, we operate on a fully remote work basis.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this is now a conversation of Gen Zs not wanting things differently, wanting to work fully remotely, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? However, which is why I'm doing what I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm Gen Z, and best believe I'm even in the right place to even speak to us and for us, right? I think Gen Zs, we are very outspoken, very radical in nature, that we see what we want
and disruptive in thinking, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Which is not bad. No, which is not bad.
Which is not bad.
You guys want to create your own system.
We know what we want and we go for it.
Which is good.
It's as simple as that.
Which is, but the reality now is that, and we sort of don't have a choice. The world needs to find a way to accommodate that.
I do not fully agree with you.
Okay.
Right? Like I said earlier, I said that is exactly why I'm in the business of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Right? And most of the problem is not about what we want. Mm-hmm. That is a personal, pursuit. Mm-hmm. It's a question of, okay, is what we want disrupting what we are supposed to do? Okay. That is the most important thing here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if this person wants to work from home, from another country. It doesn't matter. As long as is the work done. Okay. That's the question here.
Okay.
And that's the operational gap that we're still talking about. And this operational gap has a whole lot to do with communication.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with professionalism.
That's true.
We don't have to compromise professionalism, strategic communication for our selfish pursuits.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing to want more.
That's true.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm the most stubborn person to ever exist. Because when I tell you I want this thing, I'm going for it.
Get it.
But I don't have to do that at the expense of what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So even though I want to go for something, there's always a proper way to do things. And that is exactly why we're here, to teach you that you still have to respect the work culture. Okay. You don't have to go about, just, being all sassy and all of those things. Okay. It's very unnecessary. I'm Gen Z and I'm saying this.
You have to follow due process.
Still have to do the right things.
Don't be all about just the vibes and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about CA Space.
Okay.
That's your company. I like the name, by the way.
Thank you.
It's quite unique and different. So from our conversation, you had said that you are into business operations and outsourcing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell us more about that, and specifically kind of services or products that you offer?
Okay. Thank you. So, CA Space, like we already said, is not just about talent management or outsourcing. Okay. There's a big emphasis on correcting operational issues, bridging the operational gaps in the global system, honestly, because this is an issue that everybody is facing simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Right? So how we achieve this is by catering to the two parties. And I'm talking about the talent and the companies. Okay. Because there's always this conversation about, it is the employees that is the problem. But we also know that there's always the other side of the story, which employees.
Could be the employer sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is even the operational issue in itself, right? So how we solve this problem has a lot to do with we face the talent, we tell them, we walk them through how it is to actually work on a global standard. Because looking at the economic state of the country, we are actually contributing to it by, providing jobs to people, remote jobs to people, including people with disabilities, if I didn't mention that earlier. Yes. So we're still saying that, it's not about wanting a job, at this point, but at the same time, when you get the job, these are the things that you ought to do. And as a company, there's a lot of conversations and debates about staff members, employees not doing their jobs, but it's also a system problem. You could have a system hurdle, which actually causes one of the biggest problems in most global organizations. It doesn't even matter how big or small. So these are the things that we confront.
So how do you approach that? Through training or through strategy? Okay,
so we do both. So for the staff members, for the talent, we do this through training, coaching, and hands-on mentorship. So, and for the companies, we do this through accountability and our signature accountability loop. So what is accountability
Tell me about
loop?
That.
Yes. So what's it?
That sounds fancy, by the way.
Thank you. So what this accountability loop is all about is that we demand reports. On the side, I'm also a very strict person. Don't mind that I'm Gen Z. I'm very strict, and I don't care if my corporate partners are millennials. I'm going to tell you how it is. You have to fix this, right? So we demand reports, and these reports we also ask for KPIs. We track your KPIs, and then we ensure that your team provides measurable ROIs, so you don't have to. Right? So this accountability loop itself is the report. So if you give us a report on the talent, we know exactly what we're solving. Because if you're not able to identify your problem, you can't solve it. That's true. Can't go away. And you have to be brutally honest about it as well.
That's true.
So yes, these are these different ways that we actually solve this problem.
Fantastic. So you have something for the talent, which in this case could be from anywhere in the world or based on the countries that you service, and you also have a package for companies.
Yes.
So typically, if a company want to if they want to patronize you, I'm looking for a better word to actually say that. If they need your service, so how do they come in contact with you? What sort of medium do you use for your marketing?
Okay, for our marketing or for the onboarding?
Well, let's begin with your marketing. Because now I want to understand how the business run, and I also want to be able to see, how do you take it from where you are currently to where it can be or where you want it to be?
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that question. Okay, so when it comes to targeting our ideal clients, let me even start by saying that when it comes to solving this problem, we have a package called the Founders Bridge Program. So it's not just any service, it's actually a program. Because in this place, we're letting you understand that this is a learning curve, especially if you're a startup founder or a small business owner. Right? So with this Founders Bridge Program that we've already created, there is a screening process. Right? We don't just accept anybody. We want to make sure that we're partnering with people who are on the same wavelength as us. We're partnering with people who are actually going to be honest and transparent about their growth and are serious with being top of their game. Right? So after they have submitted their application, we go through it. We go through the screening. So in this screening process, we basically ask their companies, the size of their companies, basically data that would help us understand how their work is, and to also understand what loopholes could be in the future. Because like I said, we're not just a talent manager, we're not just giving you talent, but also helping you bridge a gap. So we need to understand this. So once you fill these forms, we want to know you better, of course, asking for their contact details. We now have a screening interview.
Okay.
right?
With the founder.
Yes, with the companies, with the founders.
Okay.
This is where we ask you very practical questions
Okay.
about your systems. What we're looking out for is whether or not you have a structure, because there are so many founders that I've encountered, and they tell me how so many of their staff members are always resigning,
Okay.
which is a red flag.
Yeah.
Right?
Employee churn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They resign, or they are always firing someone.
Okay.
If this is something that happens consistently in your company, then there's a problem. And it is not even your people. It is your structure. It is your system that is not in place. So we ask these questions for us to confront it, for you to confront the issues. Because most times it's because of the lack of conversations that you never
Between
get
the
to know.
employers and the employees. is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
So because of this lack of conversations, that you never actually know what is wrong with your business. So we use this screening interview to actually know at what level they are at.
Okay.
You know, if they are doing well structure wise,
Okay.
or it's just a thing of or just a thing of communication,
Okay.
or they don't even have the right systems in place. Because
Okay.
I've actually had conversations with founders that they literally just go with the flow. And it's funny because, you know, you're expecting so much from your employees, but you don't even have structure. So how then would they do well? You would easily mismanage your team. So we do this to, you know, score them, and we tell them our verdict,
Okay.
right? So it is from this verdict that we as a company now decide whether or not you're going to be accepted.
Into the program.
Yes.
Founders Bridge.
Yes,
Okay.
Founders Reach program,
Okay.
or not.
Is it paid?
Of course, it's
Okay.
paid.
Okay.
So, how we charge for this particular service is that we charge based off of, first of all, the staff salaries.
Okay.
So we take a 10%, but not from their salaries directly.
Okay.
We do not, you know, advocate for that.
So the companies pays you from it, right?
No, they
or the
pay
company
us
pays
a percentage
okay.
of their salary.
But on the budget of the company, not
yes,
from the
not from
employees.
the employees.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's quickly now talk about, so because my follow-on question was going to be that you give us a profile of the kind of clients that you service, and I think you've done that indirectly.
Yes, we service clients in the UK, US, Canada, and Nigeria.
Okay. Briefly, tell me, where is the company right now? I'm talking about CS space. How many clients do you service right now on the company side and on the
Talent side?
So yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so where CS Space is right now,
Yeah.
I would say we are fast-paced when it comes to growth, because we started August 2025.
Okay.
That was last year, August.
Okay.
Yes. And
less than a year?
Yes, less than a year, actually. Okay. So currently, we partner with 5 corporates.
Okay.
Companies,
okay.
right? And we are serving 15 talents as we speak. Okay. And what was the next question, please? I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think you've answered that. So
okay.
On the company side, how many clients, and on the talent side, how many talent currently? So, and in less than a year, I mean, you've achieved quite. I see there is clarity as to where you're taking the company to, which is also quite important when you're trying to grow a business. Because I think one of the things I want to be able to help you with right now is that from where you are, how do you create path for growth, you know, to where you want to be? I'm sure you have a picture of where you want to take the company in the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you come across to me as somebody who knows what they are doing, you know, which is quite really, really good. But then also having a picture of where you want to go is different from having a clarity or some sort of clarity as to what part. You know, part in plural form and part in singular. Mm-hmm. So if you have 4 parts to get to where you're going, at what point should you be working on the first part, the second, the third, and the fourth one?
Okay.
So if you look at it now holistically, how many parts do you see, you know, I think that will get you to where you want to take the company in the next 5 years?
Okay. So where I'm going to start from might be a little unexpected.
Okay.
But the first thing is that I want us to get to the point where remote work is normalized.
Okay.
It's normalized to the point where not just for comfort, but also to put into consideration people with disabilities.
Okay. That's quite...
This is such a sector that is underspoken about. Like, people do not always put them in mind when it comes to opportunities.
So you want to serve the people with disability market as well?
Exactly.
Okay. Are you already servicing that market?
To a point, yes, because I realized that even most of them have become very, will I say, they're taking a step back because they have experienced how workspace is. There was a particular event that we at CA Space we hosted to confront this issue, right? And the guests were people with disabilities, and let me tell you, disabilities is the least interesting thing about them. These are really brilliant women. These are women who understand.
I heard you say women, not women and men.
Women and men, but in this particular event, it was women, right? It was to women that I invited, right?
Okay.
And one of the things that, because I even had to learn from that event, and it taught me so much about the fact that companies talk about inclusivity. You see it in job applications, but there's nothing like that in reality. You know, when you're talking about being inclusive, you're not even considering this other party. You're not considering that you could have workers who work differently, who their bodies are of different capacity of the rest. So why wouldn't they have an opportunity just like the abled? Don't they deserve to work? Don't they deserve to also earn a living for themselves? Right? So that is one of the major things that I want to do. And if I'm to get, would I say, strategic partnerships with people who have the same goals as me on this mission, because I mean, CA Space, we are not just a company that is giving people jobs. We're not doing giveaway anyways, but I would say that we contribute to a bigger scope, and it aligns with the AU 2063 agenda, which is one of the most, important thing to us right now. Now, the next place that we see ourselves is also securing more partnerships with companies in the UK, US, Canada. Right? Reasons why I mentioned this particular countries is because there are so many startup founders, so many people who are building, right? And we would love for them to but to explore. Yes, we'd love for them to explore the African markets more, because there are lots of talented people here. I can't even begin to mention.
If you saw the news yesterday, there was quite a big news that was circulating around yesterday, stating the fact that the German working population is aging, and that has created some sort of a vacuum in terms of productive population that could take the economy from where it is to where they want it to be. And there was also a second part of the story that was saying that they're taking in a lot of Indian talent, to kind of like, fill that gap and all of that. And so again, that brings to spotlight the opportunities within the BPO space, the business process outsourcing, which is typically, again, outsourcing, getting talent from other countries and all of that. So with all of that, that indicates that there is opportunity in Europe, So, and, based on what I hear you that CA Space is into, I think you need to also start considering Europe, European countries, where you're able to, because again, it's been said that the European population is aging. So which means that the productive workforce is also quite shrinking, and these are economies that run at the level of even Canada or even the US, if you may. So that's an area that I think you should explore an opportunity.
Yes, I think
European countries, again Germany, and maybe other European countries. There is massive opportunities there. But again, also, I think also, I don't know what your structure is right now, but I think another way to also be able to position yourself for growth or for this opportunity should be that start training this talent, identifying local talent, develop your own database. Probably you have that already.
Oh, we did that. I have not finished my trail of thoughts yes. So when it now comes to the training part, we are actively training people. So this is not just about the jobs alone. Okay. Because now we've already identified that it's not only a skill issue, right? But also understanding work culture. But even as a part of that, we also leave room for people who are still yet to develop their skill sets. So we offer trainings in virtual assistant. Okay. Yeah. And social media management. Okay. For now, while we grow, we'll begin to explore more courses, more skill sets. Okay. Yes. So
any technical, do you do any core technical training for now or not yet?
Technical training, like can you give me an example, please?
We're in the era of AI, so AI becomes common denominator right now.
Of course, yeah.
In terms of the way work is being done. Yeah. We have seen some of the biggest companies in the world reducing their staff strength in terms of headcount, because they're also able to employ AI tools. We've also seen employees being able to utilize AI to improve their productivity.
Of course.
I was watching an entrepreneur yesterday talking about having a legal case that was supposed to cost about £50,000 in legal fees, because they've consulted with and some lawyers and attorneys and all of that, and they've been given a bill of £50,000 to help them deal with the case. Wow. And they said, okay, let's experiment. Then they went to an AI tool, and they, of course, give the AI the background, the description of the case, and ask the AI. And the AI coached them through the process, step by step, what they should do, documentation to get what to say in court, what not to say, and all of that. And they were able to solve the problem with just $20 AI subscription a month. So, again, when we're talking about the future of work, these are the things that we begin to see.
Of course.
Companies, businesses will be able to cut costs, not necessarily AI taking people's job, but certain things that one can use AI to enhance the processes to reduce cost, which will also mean that, as a professional, you need to start educating yourself on how to leverage AI to make yourself more valuable, not so much being afraid that AI will replace you.
Absolutely.
You understand? So, in your skilling program, you need to start thinking about that. AI is, it has come to stay. That's the fact. I know we don't have a lot of time right now. I think I have more about 2, 3, 5 minutes. Okay, so I've been told I need to round up. So let's take another 2 minutes to just kind of like bring everything together.
Yes, I wanted to say something about your AI.
Go ahead, please.
So it's quite true that AI has come to stay. And as a matter of fact, there's something I always say. I always say that AI is the best partner to have right now. If you're not using AI, you're not working smart.
Yeah.
Right? But yes, like you said, there's also the fear of, AI will take your jobs and all of that. But I disagree, or I stand to be corrected. AI cannot take your jobs, especially at this point in time, which is still why there's a lot of emphasis on the people parts, right? And yes, to answer your question, we also integrate AI into our trainings.
That's good.
Right? We don't have it as a course now, but like I said, through our mentorship and coaching, especially when it's the parts where we are having our review sessions, when we go through their reports, they say they're having problems with so and so. We ask them, okay, what are the tools that you're currently using? Because things are changing. Systems are changing every single day. And you have to update yourself, especially if you want to stand out in the company, if you want to be a standout staff. You have to be thinking outside the box. So yes, we actually do encourage. In fact, we encourage a lot of AI usage, to work smarter. Not just working harder.
All right.
So, yes.
All right. In closing, so I'm just going to mention a couple of things that you. I see that your feasibility of AI CS spaces is quite low. So you need to work on that going forward to further help you attract more client. Feasibility, which means that your website needs to go live. There's a lot of things about you as a person on digital space, but about CS spaces, really actually non-existent. So you need to work on that. Fix the feasibility part, because the space where you play in is quite needed right now. Both on the talent side, some talent want to be able to secure remote jobs, but they need a coach. They need somebody to be able to help them. Not just to connect them to opportunities, but also to be able to teach them about what culture, like you mentioned, which is mostly the major problem. And also, so that companies also will be able to see you, and that feasibility also let it communicate clearly your service offering or your product offering, so that they can easily be able to patronize you. And sincerely, I like what you're doing, and I see that the sky is the beginning, and I just hope that you continue to grow. And also, you're already leveraging partnership. Do as much as possible. The people living with disability space is also quite a good one. You've mentioned that. We did some things around that as well. There's a lot of opportunities there. Like you said, they are all talented. Their physical ability notwithstanding, their mind, their intellect, is what is required. Do you have any question for me before we wrap this up?
Okay, so with all that I have said, as a business owner yourself, what is something that you would love to see in your own business? With how you run your business, what is something that you would love to see a business like mine do for you?
Sincerely, I think 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago, or post-COVID, we identified that work is changing. So we began to experiment. We began to adopt a more flexible approach to work, even though some of our kind of work might require physical attendance, but then we began to experiment. I think on the part of work culture, there's a lot of gap there. Most employees don't understand work culture. How integrity comes to play within the workspace, and how that makes you a valuable team member. How accountability, makes you a valuable talent. and how business minded. Probably I don't know what to better reward that, but thinking how your employer will be thinking, because if your output is not contributing to the growth of the company, you know yourself. You understand,
True.
and you can adjust before they come to you and start asking you, to prove your worth. So I think for us, training on that space is quite important to be able to get our team members, to where they should be. And we also have some team members that work remotely. I think sometimes we also open to that, connecting with talent remotely, talent who already understand work culture and all of that. So again, I think almost every company will find a way to utilize your service one way or the other. But I think for us, based on some of the organization that I lead, those are the areas that I see that we might need your service.
Yes. I think that also makes a lot of sense, because there is something I always say, that the moment you start seeing yourself as a staff member, that's the moment you start losing the points. You need to start seeing yourself as a business owner as well.
Yeah.
And this mind frame changes how you work.
Exactly.
So an example would be, let's say your boss queries you for something, right? And you take it personally.
Yeah.
If you were a business owner and it was a client that was complaining, how would you have managed that? So that should be the,
That's what you just said now is $1 billion question right there. If everyone can ask themselves that and be able to behave or act accordingly based on the answer they give, I think things will be better in the workspace.
Yes. And thank you for answering that, giving us more ideas.
Thank you for coming. It's good to have you. I hope these will help push your business forward. And it's been nice chatting to you.
It has been nice chatting with you too. And thank you so much for your advice as well. Taking note of that. Always so open to learning, to growing as well, because there's still a whole lot to learn.
There is. It's always something to learn.
So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This program is supported by ACT Foundation.